My record in mixed martial arts competition is 19 wins and 1 loss. I only count knockouts.
Oh, he's got a guillotine here.
I get his ass whooped and took out on a stretcher.
Come on,
1 second will be the day.
Come on, what you gonna do better than me?
Everything.
You gonna out-wrestle me?
Everything.
If we get in the octagon and I can throw no punches, no knees,
Everything.
no takedowns, no submission, I would kick your ass and just wrestle, flat out. When it come down to striking, I would knock you out, flat out.
He's hurt.
When it come down to grappling, I would break your arm, flat out. There's nothing you can
bring that
beat me
energy.
in. I'm
March
faster
2nd, bring
than
that
you,
energy.
I'm stronger than you, and I promise you, if you come at less than 100%,
March 2nd, bring that
you would
energy.
think about, you would reconsider fighting every
Bring that
day of your
energy.
life. Come on, what you gonna do better than me?
Do you know what's interesting about this? A lot of people, they would need to dissect some of the words that you've said over the years, is you've always had a mad respect for wrestlers. And then and some of your critics would say the worst case scenario for Till is if he fights a wrestler. But you've now actively gone after a wrestler.
How can it be? Nobody has ever been able to take me down and keep me down. They cannot do it. They simply don't do it. In the 5th round against Robert Whittaker, he took me down 2 or 3 times and I bounced back up on a torn MCL. Wrestlers do not faze me.
Is Brunson the guy who's going to give you that canvas in which to put on this clinic?
I hope so. I know for a fact I'm going in there and there's no 2 ways about it. I will be beating Brunson. Like, he knows that as well. I think he knows deep down. I think he's scared of me.
You can still get it, but this doesn't look good.
So, I mean, you're a smart guy. Him coming in, let's just assume that you are correct in your assumption of that he does believe that he can't wrestle with you. Yeah. What is his game plan going to be? What are you expecting him to do?
His game plan is jab, stay away, and try to land a big uppercut or knee. I'm sure that's his game plan. That's everyone's game plan, right? And, you know, I think the thing that has to make most of the division even more nervous, again, is against Robbie, is what you saw is I can take a big shot. It's not really a big deal. I'm just going to keep coming forward, and I'm going to get you, and I'm going to take you down, and then I'm going to do what I want to you. And so, you know, if that's George's game plan, which I'm sure it is, it's, you know, now it's got to look like an even less viable game plan than it did previously. And on top of that, you know, Robbie's a power puncher. Robbie hits really hard. George is more of a volume striker. And has he had a few knockouts in his career? Sure, he has, right? But when you look at his career, he's more of a volume striker. He's got a lot of decisions on his record. And so, you know, if you're thinking, hey, he's going to put me down with 1 shot, I think that's probably unlikely.
I just see us in complete different levels, you know. It's like disrespectful to bring that guy in the striking aspect. I fought animals like Eve Edwards, KJ Nunes. This was like over 10 years ago. Guys that made a living off striking and knocking people the hell out. Usman will never get there. Usman's never been there. And I'm going to do the same thing I did in the first fight, but just at a much more violent pace. We can't stand together, and he knows it, you know.
Panic wrestler. That's who I fight. Every time. And if they're not a wrestler, or if they're not a panic wrestler, they will become a panic wrestler. And that's as simple as that. So the game plan, we all are the same. We go in, we exchange, they panic. When a human panics, their first instinct is to grab, whether they train that way or not. When they get hit by me, they look to grab. They don't want it no more. So.
Nation.